Abundance Games Teachers Personal Video. Hello again. We are in your part 4 of the training. It doesn't go exactly at the same pace like your students' progression. You get more information on each part of the process. I mean, you work here with me personally on the same 12 parts of the process like they do, but you have 4 weeks of work on each part, and usually your students with you will have 3 weeks work unless the program changes and you do only one video per week. It may change in time, so I put this option here now for future. Currently, your progression as a teacher, as a student to become a teacher, abundance teacher, is slower. Okay? So now we are in part 4 that deals with courage and abundance. The courage to be abundant, or the relationship between courage and abundance. Your lesson 13 was about the question, where is your bravery? Where does your bravery exist? And where do you lack bravery? And now chapter 14 is a more of a general question, what courage is about anyway, and how does this connect to abundance? So again, I'm saying that I'm giving here definitions that I believe relate to the process, to the knowledge, but it doesn't mean that you have to embrace my definitions blindly and totally. You can challenge them, you can ask yourself if you have other ideas about this, if you want to add to this, if you want to remove some of my definition and create your own, but still, I want you to understand the way I feel and think. And once you realize and once you get the logic within my thoughts and my state of mind, then you can ask yourself questions about your own opinion about this. So what is courage? Bravery. Usually we relate bravery, courage, to actions or decisions that we have to make or to do when we face fear. And fear many times is a barrier between us and our development, our expansion, our change, our fulfillment, our expression, and many things are delayed or even prevented due to our fears. Some of our fears are helpful, and many of them only stay there as blocks, as barriers, as walls between us and better way of life and a freer way of expansion and expressing our abundance. So, bravery means to do things that you are afraid of, that in our story here, allowing your having to expand even in places that you are afraid to expand. Yet, I would like to add something very important. And it is there in this definition that being brave means being able to do things that you are afraid of, because you believe you should do it for your own growth and better life, quality of life. But I think we need to add another factor to this equation, to this definition, is the ability to connect with your fear. I mean, you need to be brave in order to be afraid. To be afraid the right way, the mature way, the creative way, the abundant way. we cannot escape fear. There are many things in life that put us in danger, now and in future. We cannot change this totally. Yet there is a question of how we address our fear. Do we deny it? Do we get totally helpless when we face our fear? Are we running away from our fear? Do we exaggerate the relevance of our fear? Can we fight when we are afraid? Can we struggle? Can we be creative despite our fear? These are very important questions that connect bravery and abundance. I mean, if we want to allow our abundance to keep going, to keep growing, our having to keep expanding and find new routes of expression, it means that we need to get in touch with our fear. Our fears now are part of our having. This is what we have. And our ability to be there, to be afraid, before I can say I am brave enough to pass it. No. First of all, to be afraid, to find the places in your life in which you are afraid. Stay there, feel it, do not run away, and then find courage in you to keep on walking, to pass it, to go through it. Okay? So it begins with the ability to feel. It's not the ability to be a hero immediately and then go and do things despite the fear. No, it means that you have the courage to be afraid. And when you become abundance teachers, abundance games teacher, you will encounter fear before class, during class, after class. And your job will be to feel this fear, to know that it is part of you. It's a part of your process. It's a part of your expression. It's a part of your truth. You will need to be courageous, enough to stay there with your fear, not to run away, not to get helpless because of your fear, but still be there. It takes courage to be there with your fear, and then to continue working, to find out eventually that you're not that afraid as you used to be before. This is what courage is about. The ability to reduce the fear by meeting it, going through it, and keep on feeling it. And in time, when you're able to operate and do stuff despite the fear will stay there but will be lower. You will be able to do creative things to cope with your fear, to dance with it, but you will not deny the fear. You will not say there is no fear here. You will be able to be afraid and still expand. This is what we're talking about. And this is your job, to practice, to train yourself in this. It's not easy, but the fact that you're here, chapter 14, means that you are ready for such adventure.